update on the little garage that I'm running here. The Interceptor now has a new 95 amp alternator, which is in and running. Just a few wiring issues to sort out with the modern version of the alternator. You don't reattach the field wires, you leave them, and you've got to run a direct wire to the battery, straight to the battery. So that was the missing link, and it's been out. It helped me vote today, so I went out and was noticed by a few people. So almost time to give it a wash. That is dust you can see there on the bonnet, a few spider webs and things, but ready to go back on the road after a little break. Historic reg has been renewed, and first outing today on the new logbook. So not much of a run for using up a day, but it's good. We've got the little Mark II Austin Healey Sprite. It's Mrs. AP's car, and it's going well. The daily bus has had a clean and polish, and it's respectable, but it's just a run around. Nice little car to run around in. The Daimler, that's the big sleeper of the bunch. We haven't done much with the Daimler lately, as you can see. It's a workbench at the moment. There's the trusty Sidchrome toolkit, nice and padded, but disrespecting the Daimler there, I'm afraid. And the Monteverdi. Now, it might look a bit sorry, but we've put some 98 fuel in with a cleaner as well, because I think I've still got sticking floats on a brand new rebuilt carburetor. But here's where all the action has been. There's the crappy original Chrysler thermostat. I can see the part number, but I can't see the temperature rating of it. In the Interceptors that I've run, I prefer to use 160 degree instead of 180. It's just to get the thermostat opening a bit more for Australian conditions. You've got some corrosion there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's still working, but something has made this cook last time I started it. But look at the condition of the pump neck. Lots of corrosion inside. This is an alloy one, so is the one I've put on. And then when I went to investigate the leak, I discovered that rather than be leaking through there, it was actually leaking from the water pump. And so the seals had it in the water pump. And so that is a water pump that I've put in today. A little extra silicone there, never hurt anyone. So I've today replaced the water pump, the thermostat housing and the thermostat. That's the nice neat top hose, which is actually an Interceptor late series top hose, but it saves it going over the fan belts, which was a bit of an eyesore. And I've had a couple of comments from people saying, you know, thank goodness you've fixed the hump over the fan belts, which I think used a combination of 2 or 3 hoses and about 6 or 8 Jubilee clips. The old water pump, it's the old version. I like these. It's the big impeller. The one that I've put in there is I think an 8 vein impeller. I tapped it in to clearance it against the back of the water pump housing, so it's not going to cavitate water between the end of the pump and the water pump housing. So we're talking about that distance there. This has to be flush on the back of the housing. If you want it to pump water, you can't give it room to move back like that. So this new one, which actually came from Ross Hockley in Sydney, he supplies it with the impeller tapped on, but not clearanced. So he leaves it out, and when you first put it on, it scrapes on the back of the housing. So you give it a tap and you refit it, and you wait until you just get a skim, and you're assured of good pumping of water. You can see there, that's the bottom of the pump. This is the little telltale hole where you can see the rusty water has started to leak out of it. The pump seal's knackered. I'm going to take this, if the reconditioning people in South Melbourne are still working, they'll rebuild that. That is an original Chrysler, large impeller, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 vane impeller, and you're very hard to get those now. They may rebuild it. They may tell me it's tutti fruited, but I can try, can't I? So I'm keeping that, sending it down to the rebuilders. That'll be my spare. My spare one now's on the car. I'm going to let this Permatex sealant that I've used to dry overnight, top up the coolant. And then I found the real reason why it got so hot is this is the temperature sensor, goes into the top hose there, and had a look around today and found this wire just sitting. So what a pain in the neck. It's probably caused this all to get a bit hot, but looking at all the condition of this, I don't think it's a bad couple of hours work. Everything came apart and went back together super easy. Look at the easy water pump access compared to an Interceptor. It's right there. You know, ring spanners and things fit straight on. There's a tensioner down there. It was all super easy. So working on a Monteverdi, not as hard as you think. There's plenty of room in here compared to a Jensen. So that's it for today's report. And tomorrow, you'll probably hear it running again. Hopefully it'll be easier to start with a bit of cleaner in the fuel, a little bit more fuel in the tank, and hopefully it'll prime a little bit more easily, and won't be such a dog to start, because that's been my problem lately. It's been difficult to start. And then the next job is to put it on bricks and get the wheels restored. So there it is. Plenty of jobs still left on the car, but you can tick those ones off. Water pump, thermostat, housing. The belts are fine. They look fairly new. There we go. Hopefully tomorrow we'll hear it run. Hello there, a short Sunday video for you. I've got the toolbox back down here. Probably not good for fuel economy, but it's where most of the tools live. This is on bricks, except for this funny little emergency spare from the 1970s. That is the original version of a run flat tyre, ladies and gentlemen, and it saved me 3 bricks. If we come over here, there's the trusty bricks holding up the front, same on the other 3 corners. The Daimler acting as a tool bench again, poor old Daimler. And I'm starting to take the centres out of the magnesium wheels before taking them to the restorers, who are going to do a gentle paint removal, and then they're going to powder coat them for me. So that's the update. Next time you see these wheels, the centre splines will be removed. I'll be polishing them here myself, and the wheels will go away to be restored. It's the Monteverdi Campagnolo centre spline, and I've got the 8 bolts and washers off the back, gently tapped north, south, east and west to get those down through the holes, because I don't want to grind on the alloy. And it's just starting to come out. See the gap? There's a gap developing there, so it looks like there's a big shim in there of sorts. More will be revealed in a moment. Okay, I've tapped it out a bit further, and what we're starting to see is sleeves through to the holes. I don't think I can take it out on camera with one hand, but it's on the verge of coming out, so I don't want to tap it out all over the floor because I want to see how it comes out, obviously. So I'll keep going. Okay, a couple more taps, and this is what we have. There's the blank center. Now that spline is on the plate at the back, and that will now separate out on its own side, leaving us with a bare magnesium wheel. I can't find anything on the internet as a reference for these Campagnolo center spline wheels, or how to service them, or how to take them apart. So there we go. Now I'm assuming this chrome piece here may screw off, because you've got to be able to get those bolts out. Look, this looks in good condition. I can polish that as it is, put it back on the car, but I do want to see how it all works as well. So there you have it. So there's just some built up grime on there, some dried copper grease. And on this side, you've got the back plate of the Campagnolo wheel. And I imagine with man's original tool, the gentle persuader, we should be able to get that to crack loose as well. But these are pure magnesium wheels, and walking gently and carrying a soft tool is definitely the order of the day. These are absolutely irreplaceable. Tyres are well over 10 years old. They'll be going to the recyclers, and we'll be getting period correct tyres when we fix these wheels up. Well, I said I was going to be gentle, but one tap, in fact I waved the hammer near it and it fell off, so you didn't get to see the actual removal of it, but there it is. It's very much a interference sleeve type of fit, but it did come straight out. So that's the other piece of the centre spline. That's not rust, it's copper grease in there from when we originally got the wheels back on the car, and had lots and lots of trouble getting the driver's side rear nut to loosen off the car. Ended up using an industrial tool to release it. There we are, ready to have the tyre taken off. All I've got to do is 3 more like that. And I've got an original spare as well, which doesn't have any of the centre hardware on it, and I'll be getting that restored as well, just to put back in the boot. I'm not sure there's actually room for a full-size spare in the boot. That's why they had this space saver spare, it's called, and it is a pneumatic tyre. That is an inner tube you can see in the centre of it. Get you a better look there. Yeah, that is actually an inner tube, but my compressor wouldn't blow it up any more than that, and as you can see, my run flat tyre is running flat. But it does have 3 bricks on the other corners of the car, so it might be carrying a bit more weight than it's supposed to as well. In that corner, I might actually see if I can find my spare brick supply and take the load off this one as well. All right, on to the other 3 wheels.